Hey everybody, it's Laurie Blomer here. It is Sunday, June 2nd, 2024, and I'm here to pull a card for spiritual reflection and spiritual inspiration for the week. Lighting is a little bit different, you might notice, than it normally is. It's because I'm pulling it in the evening. I was out of town today, but I wanted to make sure I did this before the end of the day because I find it really helpful. And my intent is always to have these cards serve as sort of a helpful lens through which to view my experiences for the week, and also for anyone watching the video for the purpose of growing and evolving spiritually and as a human being and in your journeys. So I'm working with a deck that you will have seen before. I've used it. I think it's been a while since I've used it for the weekly card pull, but certainly with my clients, I use this deck pretty frequently. It's the Angel Wisdom Tarot by Radleigh Valentine. I like this deck because it's fairly true to the Rider-Waite Tarot, and yet I find that my clients find it easier to interpret and understand on their own, which to me is a really important aspect of card reading, is that I'm not working with something so cryptic that I'm the only one who really knows the meaning. I want it to be an interactive process when I'm working with clients, and I always share my interpretation of them. But I also encourage them to really honor what jumps out to them intuitively. And same with this process. I'm going to pull a card here for spiritual reflection and spiritual inspiration. I'll share with you what really speaks to me as a helpful focus for the week, and you're welcome to follow along. But I really, more importantly, want to encourage you to honor what really speaks to you, what jumps out to you or comes to mind for you as important and relevant in your life and the message from the card. So I've been shuffling here, shuffle, 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 and I'm going to pull a card. I always pull a couple or a few times out of the center of the deck just because it's what I do. And then I will pull one. I'll split the deck with both my hands and whatever card my thumb is on. Obviously, really empirical here. That's the one I go with. So there it is. This is the one my thumb is on. And the card is Ego. I actually love this card. Check it out. This woman has been lashed to one or more of these columns. We've got Archangel Michael there, off to the corner using his mighty sword. Archangel Michael is considered to be a patron of light workers, really helping anyone and their mission, their spiritual mission, the role and their goals that their soul is seeking to accomplish in these incarnations. But the Ego card is really important because what it means is actually not that she is trapped and she's relying on an angel to set her free. It actually means the illusion of being trapped. You're not really trapped, in other words. Consider the things, the thinking that keeps us where we are. Maybe imagine that expression of, jumping from the frying pan into the fire, meaning, do we want to stay with the uncomfortable situation that we are familiar with rather than risking and going into a situation that we're not familiar with that could be worse? So so what is this card about? It's about accepting responsibility for your own choices. It's also about, again, that illusion of being trapped, the extent to which we keep ourselves where we are for any number of reasons, but it also keeps us from growing and evolving. And that we really can't blame others for the situations that we find ourselves stuck in if we are a participant in the process of keeping us stuck in that place and not doing what we need to do to take that responsibility for our lives. This also has to do with addictions or unhealthy habits. And I'm going to put the word addictions in quotes, meaning addiction to me can be interpreted broadly in the context of cards. Yes, it might very well mean addiction to substances that are harmful for us, or physical addiction. But I think very often it also means addiction, meaning a habit, a way of thinking, a way of acting, that whether or not it served us at one point in our life, it's not serving us anymore. But it's a habit that is so ingrained that we're finding difficult to stop. So what I'm going to do this week, in considering this card, is to say, where is my ego getting in the way? Where am I making excuses for things that are rightfully my responsibility to be working on? Where am I limiting myself in a way that really isn't very satisfying? Where I could be taking a risk to be more happy, even if it is a bit of a risk. So that's what I'm going to focus on. I think as I talk out loud here, what I'm going to try and find this week is an opportunity to really push myself out of my comfort zone for the purpose of growth. Rather than be stuck or allow myself to be stuck in circumstances that might be mediocre or not so great or not so happy, I'm going to think about where I could take a risk that might actually lead to greater happiness and the pride of accomplishing something by just being brave enough to do it. So that's my take. As always, again, I encourage you to take your own inspiration from this card. For those of you who know the traditional Rider-Waite deck, this card is the Devil. The Devil is shown with two people. Let me see if I can find a version of that card in my I have a deck here handy. If I can quickly find it, I'm going to show you what he looks like. Nobody wants the Devil card. But what's interesting is the Devil card really is, it's about that. It's where we make excuses for our own behavior and we blame it on some sort of an outside source. There he is. Check it out. We have these people in chains, but if you notice, he does not have a hand on either of them. And also, look at the chains around their necks. They could easily slip those chains right off. But no, they're staying stuck there. And blaming it, if you will, on someone else having power over them. And this is a being that, again, literally has no power over them. He's not even touching them. So this is an excuse. So now you know what the Devil card's really about. It is about ego. It's where do we entrap ourselves and perhaps blame outside circumstances, or at the very least say that we were unable to get out of it. The message behind that card is that we are able to get out of it and we are the only ones who can. So there it is. There's the traditional card, the Devil card, and what it could be viewed as, which is, again, where do we keep ourselves trapped and make excuses? So there you have it. Just got a little tarot lesson in the process. It's also why I like working with different tarot decks, because you see different spins on the same card, and it provides additional fodder and perspective to consider as you look at them. So there you go. Again, my name is Laurie Blomer. LaurieBlomer.com is my website. My email address is laurieblomerpsychic@gmail.com. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to hear from you, and I hope you have an inspired week and a really fun week of challenging yourself in constructive ways, getting out of your own way, and not allowing your excuses to get in the way of making real progress. So there you have it. Have a great week. Thanks again for watching.